I found a £20 note outside the supermarket this morning. I wasn't sure what to do, and I thought to myself, what would Jesus do? So I turned it into wine. Okay, enough of the dad jokes. This phrase, what would Jesus do, was quite popular when I was growing up. As Christians, our lives and actions are shaped by the person of Jesus, who he was, what he taught, and all he did as he revealed to us the face of God. As part of our journey of faith, we are called to discover more about God, and as we discover more, to be transformed into the people God has created us to be. In the letter to the Romans, Paul puts it like this: "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will." The theme for this week is feeding your mind, and we're exploring how we engage our brains in our faith and relationship with God. One thing to be clear on is that feeding our mind doesn't mean we have to be some kind of super big brainiac academic. When Jesus called his first disciples, he didn't choose the brightest and the best. He didn't choose the studious and learned. He chose ordinary men, and women too, if we include those other than the 12. And he taught by telling ordinary stories about ordinary life. So when it comes to learning and feeding our minds, we need to put away any fears of not being good enough or smart enough. We just need to be open to learning. And there are many ways to learn, many different learning styles which suit different people. For some, reading works. For others, it's listening to or watching something. Some are internal processes. Others prefer to have discussions. I don't think it matters how we choose to feed our mind when it comes to our faith, just that we do. And the content of our learning is God. That's what we're seeking to know, both in the sense of knowing about, but also personal knowing and relationship. The Bible is, of course, one of the key places we look to increase our learning and understanding. And it can be seen as an intimidating book, a collection of fairly ancient texts which can feel quite alien and distant. But remember that we don't have to tackle it on our own. There is plenty of help out there. When I was 11, my dad, whom I love very much but doesn't always get it right, decided to help me prepare academically for secondary school. And he took one of his university maths textbooks and set me a problem saying, everything you need to know to solve this is on these 2 pages. And I sat there for hours, getting more and more flustered and upset because I hadn't a clue how to solve the problem, and the pages of information were meaningless to me. Finally, my mum came and rescued me, and I think had some rather sharp words from my dad. As it happened, I did end up doing quite well in maths, but only because I had good teachers and I learned at an appropriate pace. When it comes to looking at the Bible and learning about God, we don't have to do it on our own. As a start, we have the Holy Spirit. Jesus said to his disciples that the Holy Spirit would teach you all things and remind you of everything I have said to you. We also have our teachers and preachers in church. There's various books and booklets which give guidance on understanding the Bible and how it relates to life. And of course, in our digital age, we have all sorts of apps and podcasts and videos there to help us learn. What it does take is a certain amount of commitment and effort. We need to want to learn and then devote some time to it. Life goes by so quickly and is often full to the brim with various competing priorities. And often we don't find time, we have to make it. It is worth it though, not to sound more clever or know more stuff, but because in learning we renew our minds, and in renewing our minds we know and understand God better, which makes a difference to how we live in the world. And if you're not sure where to start, just ask. That is genuinely what we are here for.